My name is Logan Williams, and we will be discussing the horrific event, the Herero and Namaqua genocide in German Southwest Africa, which is present-day Libya. Nama, also called the Namaqua, is any member of the southern Libya ethnic group. The Herero is a group of closely related Bantu-speaking people of southwestern Africa. The two groups, they have a history of bad blood. The areas of German Southwest Africa, now Namibia, were formerly colonized by Germany between 1884 and 1915. Herero and Namaqua were a nation of animal breeders. German colonizers tried to modernize them by converting them into farmers and workers for their land and business. The real issue comes from when the Herero gave more than 1/4 of the $130,000 square kilometers of land that belonged to them for the completion of the railroad artery. Germany told them that the railroad was being built to help development of the area. The railroad was going to be built to ignite the invasion of more colonizers that exploit the land, the riches, the country, and the people. Germany considered the land to be theirs. On January 12, 1904, the Herero with their leader rebelled against the Germans and killed about 123 to 150 of Germans. General von Trotha started to slaughter them, pushing them towards the desert of Amaki, where they were dying from thirst and starvation. October 1904, the tribe of Namaqua rebelled against the Germans, which led to fate similar to the Herero. October 2nd, 1904, General Trotha gave his famous quote, "The nation of the Herero should immediately leave the country because they are no longer considered German citizens. Whoever doesn't obey and is found within the country with or without a gun or an animal, they will be executed immediately. I am not going to show any mercy." The orders of General Trotha were for the Herero men to be executed on the spot, while the women and children to be led slowly to the desert to die. December 1904, German Parliament, the Kaiser, tells the general to rescind his examination order. He is commanded to gather up the remaining Herero and take them to concentration camps as prisoners of war. 40% is taken to the Sakoman concentration camp to die. The Nama surrendered in 1906, but they were ordered to the Windhoek concentration camp because of their betrayal to the German Parliament, the Kaiser. September 1906, over 1,700 Nama arrived at Shark Island. It becomes the most notorious concentration camp in Southwest Africa. It gained the nickname Death Island because 263 prisoners died on Shark Island in 1 month. On average of 8 prisoners die in a day. 1,600 prisoners on Shark Island are meant to be available for forced labor, but only 30 to 40% are physically fit to do work. They are either sick or dying. On one night, 17 prisoners died. Now over to Susan.
Good morning, Africa. I'm going to tell you today's weather. We're looking at about 70 degrees at Luderitz, Namibia, or what we've been calling it since 1795, Shark Island. Make sure to keep it jacky because we're located right by the Atlantic, which means we're going to come in contact with some heavy winds and some crashing waters. Matter of fact, pack a poncho. We're actually the lucky ones because prior to 1904 to 08, Germany had not set up any concentration camps, which means the island wasn't part of the mainland yet. And I'm no doctor, but make sure to keep some medicine because what was known as Shark Island is also known as Death Island due to the brutal conditions, the small food rations, and, you guessed it, the largest death toll. It's reported that more than 3,000 skulls of the Herero and Nama people were sent back to Germany. You know what? Let me stop before I get too deep. Deja, back to you.
According to many testimonies, about 80% of ethnicities was extinguished. About 65,000 to 100,000 Herero and 10,000 Namaqua died. The people survived were gathered by Germans and led to concentration camps where they were forced into hard labors with pay. Many people died due to the lack of vitamins and the excessive work. 45% to 74% of Herero and Namaqua died, and most were women and children. The German anthropologist Eugene Fischer visited concentration camps. German scientists, these tribes were a secure and safe way to do their anthropologist and scientist studies. To conclude the description of this, 300 skulls from the prisoners at the concentration camps were sent to Germany for further research and for further German scientists to prove. the superior of the white race and the inferior of the black race of the Herero. In comparison to World War II, similar things were done to the Jews population. Hitler used these findings for his political campaign to convince people that the Aryan was the more superior race. Now to Charlotte.
After the dismantle of camps lost many lives, on March 31st of 1907, the war was officially over. German parliament votes to call an end to the war. The governor of Southwest Africa, Frederick von Ludwig, declares the war against the Herero and Namaqua. In the span of 6 months, only 450 prisoners survived out of 2,000. 80% of the Herero population was killed, as well as 50% of the Namaqua population. On the 8th of May, Kaiser Wilhelm II issues a decree declaring all Nama lands, except for Berseba and the Bundeswehr territory, as German. On the 20th of September, Jacob Marenga, the leader of the last remaining faction of the Nama still fighting the Germans, is killed, ending the battle between the Germans and the Nama. In April, a year after the war was officially declared over, the Herero and Nama prisoners of war status is revoked and the last concentration camps are closed. The war has come to a final end. Finally, in October of 2011, the tribal leader from Namibia went to Berlin to retrieve the skulls of 20 of the people that were murdered during the colonization of the second rank in their country.
In 2007, the chiefs of the 6 Herero royal houses met representatives of the Van Trotha family in the central Namibian town of Herero. They stated, "We, the Van Trotha family, are deeply ashamed of the terrible events that took place 100 years ago. Human rights were grossly abused during that time. We say sorry since we bear the name of General Van Trotha. We, however, do not only want to look back, but also look forward to the future."
In recent news, on July 3rd of 2019, a U.S. court has dismissed a compensation lawsuit lodged against Germany by 2 Namibian tribes for genocide and property seizures in colonial times. New York lawyers for Herero and Nama will appeal the ruling. This is Charlotte reporting live, signing off. Thank you for watching History Today.
German Southwest Africa, present-day Namibia.
Alright, make sure to keep it jabby.
After the dismantle,
About 65,000 to 100,000 Herero and 10,000 Namaqua died.
The land to be theirs. On January 12, 1904, the Herero with their leader Samuel Mahara.
Germany has set up in
oh fuck.
The German anthropologist Eugene Fischer visited concentration camps to conduct anthropology.
1904, German Parliament, the Kaiser, tells the general to rescind his
You can see the table. Oh no, you can see the table, huh?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
The 20th of September.
The German anthropologist Eugene Fischer visited concentration camps to conduct